Welcome to Belfast City Airport. I'm Patrick Hughes, this is Planet Patrick, and welcome to another trip report. See what mine looks like.
And my Icelandic.
I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick. Good morning, it's bright and early, about 5:45 a.m. and today is a 2-flight day. I'm up this early for a flight to London Heathrow. Welcome to Belfast City Airport on a wet morning. The weather wouldn't delay this flight from Belfast City Airport to London Heathrow, despite the fact that pre-COVID it would often be delayed. I took this flight on the 16th of June with Aer Lingus Airbus-A320, flying on their standard Airbus-A320 configuration. Just time before boarding to remind you, if you like flight reports, then please subscribe on the YouTube channel, and if you're on Instagram you can follow me at TrekSolo, where my stories show what's going on as it happens.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
25
Thank you.
Boarding was friendly and smooth, and this Airbus is laid out in a standard 3-3 configuration with leather-styled seats. The legroom here is much tighter than BA's Embraer, which is used on the equivalent flight into London City. Time for a quick seat tour. The tray table is unfastened thus. This is quite firm, to be fair, although there's barely enough room for a small laptop, never mind a large one. The literature area is fine for, well, literature, or your iPad or iPhone, though don't lose it in there. You can see what it looks like when no people are there. Much more comfortable than it was when there were 2 people sitting on my outside, but that is the nature of flying in economy. You can see another Airbus A320, though I'm not sure what destination this had. There are overhead controls, which, as you know, I like, and these did not work in my seat. At the end of this flight report, I'll talk about PCR testing and price, so stay tuned for that. So let's take off from Belfast City on our flight to London Heathrow. And now for everyone's favourite part, the toilet check. Let's have a look at this one. Looks pretty clean. What has to be said about this Aer Lingus flight is that there was no service whatsoever. If you've watched my recent BA City Flyer report from Belfast City to London City, you'll remember that there was a hygiene pack provided to everybody and that there was still a food and drink service, including in economy. On this Aer Lingus flight, there was no service, no drinks, no hygiene pack, nothing. Bear in mind, this is only a 55-minute flight. Was there anything lost in the process? No, but if you were making a choice to fly to London on either BA or Aer Lingus and prices were similar, then you might be more inclined to book BA unless you're collecting Avios for Aer Lingus specifically. Now, before we land, a few of you have contacted me regarding PCR testing and flights from Belfast to London. These are treated as UK domestic flights, and if you're travelling within the Common Travel Area or CTA, they're treated the same if you're travelling on a British passport or on an Irish passport. That is, no PCR testing is required for you to enter England. Now, things can change, so it's up to you to check before your flight what the latest regulations state. But at the time of taking this flight in mid-June, no PCR testing was required. The only time that ID is checked is on arrival at security when your boarding pass is scanned, and when you're boarding the plane, your identification is checked alongside your boarding pass. On arrival in England, there are no further checks. Your flight is treated as domestic and you pass directly through into the arrivals hall. I hope that clears up some of your questions. Finally, a word on price. This flight from Belfast City to London Heathrow cost a total of £72.99, and I used a small amount of Avios to reduce the cost overall to £54.99. Pretty good value. Well, that was a pretty smooth flight on the Aer Lingus A320. The only thing that is slightly problematic compared to the British Airways flights that go on the same route or a similar route into London City is that British Airways provides a hygiene pack and a very nice snack and beverage, and on this Aer Lingus service there was nothing. No hygiene pack, no service at all, not even a BA buy for service. So look, it was only 50 minutes, it was very smooth. No major complaint, but if BA can do it, I don't see why Aer Lingus can't. Thanks very much for being here on this Planet Patrick trip report. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. See what mine looks like. And my Icelandic. I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick.